There are moments that challenge what we think is possible, that defy the odds and our expectations. Those moments are what we at MU Health call yes moments. And they're changing the face of cardiovascular care. One breakthrough discovery, one advanced treatment, one miraculous outcome at a time. Yes makes it possible.
Good morning. Welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, June the 2nd. We've got a very interesting guest with us today, OLEN Brown. Now, OLEN, you have written a book. Good to have you here, by the way.
Thank you, Pam.
You've written a book. It's called Oxygen, the Breath of Life, Boon and Bane in Human Health, Disease, and Therapy. That's quite a title there.
Yes, it covers it.
You're a retired university professor. Tell us about your career there.
Well, all of my research was at what is now the Dalton Cardiovascular Research Center. When I first came here, it was the space sciences, named after then Governor Dalton. I was also appointed at the medical school, so I taught medical students and graduate students and did research. And the book grew out of that experience, and my real desire has always been science, but also communication of science. Mm-hmm. I like to do science, and I like to help people understand it, whether they're students or whether they're people who are non-scientists. But oxygen is something that we all need, you know.
Right, we need the oxygen. It is the breath of life. Are you concerned that science is taking a back seat now? It seems like science is kind of getting a bad rap at this point.
Well, I think science is fully capable of taking care of itself. You know, there's the money aspect, and that comes and goes. But the true scientists would be there without the support, and they need the support. But
you think science will continue moving forward?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. What is this book about?
The book is about oxygen. Oxygen is central to biology. Almost all forms of life require it. You know, it's said that you can live a few weeks without food. You can live a few days without oxygen.
Without water.
Yeah. Without oxygen, about 4 minutes.
Okay, so you can live a few weeks without food, a few days without water, but without oxygen, a few minutes.
Correct.
So, what is happening to our oxygen on Earth? Are we polluting beyond repair with the air?
Well, that's interesting. We can thank the green plants. In the last 2,000 years, they have manufactured all of the oxygen, the O2, the molecular oxygen that's present in the air. And every day they replenish it. They take out carbon dioxide and generate oxygen. That's the photosynthesis.
Okay, but what's happening as we're cutting down more and more forest? We're cutting down rainforest. We are spewing deadly chemicals into the air. Is there a tipping point where the vegetation is not able to clean up the air to the point where we're sustainable?
I see that as a concern, but I think we are replacing our forests. We are doing better. Most of the wood that we use is replaceable. It is grown. It is not old growth forest.
Right, but I'm talking about what's happening in the Amazon rainforest.
That's true.
We're taking a lot of vegetation down in the Amazon rainforest. And what happens to the pollution of the ocean? Do we not get a lot of oxygen from the ocean itself?
That's from certain green microscopic plants that live in the ocean that are generating oxygen. We don't really know how much of the total oxygen comes from things like trees, how much of it comes from cornfields, and how much of it comes from the ocean. But a large part of it comes from the algae. And we're concerned, but the ocean is large. It's a big buffer. It's a big place of storage of carbon dioxide. But so it's a complex thing. My feeling is on the carbon dioxide thing, I don't think we know enough to be able to say that we're at the edge of a big change. Certainly climate change is real. Climate has changed throughout history. But I'm not convinced that we are at a tipping point or that we're at a critical point.
You're not?
I'm not.
What do you say to people who are really concerned about it?
I say we need more study. All scientists would agree to that. But you see, one of the things I point out in the book, as a matter of fact, is that one of the hopes is that nature is able, and we can help nature with the photosynthesis. There's fascinating things going on artificial photosynthesis. Are you aware of that?
No.
We're creating artificial leaves. We are designing things at the subatomic level that interface with physics, with the short Planck times and the short domains. It's fascinating that the leaves that do this magic thing of producing oxygen and taking out the carbon dioxide in a natural cycle, we are close to being able to do that artificially in a way that's faster and more competent than planting a tree. I've been calculating the book, you know.
Is this in the book?
Yes.
Okay, so this is really it's not just a scientific book, but it's a fascinating read.
Well, it's about history. It talks about the Eads Bridge in St. Louis,
Yeah.
Built in the 60s, just after the Civil War.
The 1860s.
1860.
Yeah.
The large caissons that were used hyperbaric pressure, and more than 70 people died because we were at the interface of knowledge about the toxicity of oxygen. We haven't even talked about that here today.
But you can read about it. The book is called Oxygen, the Breath of Life, Boon and Bane in the Human Health, Disease and Therapy. So you touch on disease and therapy also.
Yeah, correct.
So
We can get
there's everything in this book. How long did it take you to write it?
all my life.
Okay. You've been writing this book all your life, and where is it available?
It's available at Bentham Science. You can get it. You can look online. It's a generous amount that you can read for free. You can read parts of it on ResearchGate.
Is it Barnes & Noble?
No.
Is it Amazon.com?
It's an ebook.
Oh, it's only an ebook.
Well, you can buy it, but it's mainly
Okay,
ebook.
so you can download it onto your...
If you look on Bentham, you can...
Bentham
Science, or if you go to ResearchGate if you're a scientist.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much,
thank
Olin
you,
Brown.
Bob.
So you've been writing this book all your life?
Yes.
Does it feel... If it's an ebook, but you got it out here in hardcover, which is nice.
Well, I'm pretty slow.
People can't buy it in hardcover then?
Oh, yeah, you can.
Okay, or ebook.
It's mostly ebook.
All right,
Yeah.
all right. Wait, stay right there. I got to say goodbye yet before you go away.
All right.
Monday, we've got Ed Hansen, Talking Hearts Production, and Serve It Up Cobol. Have yourself a good weekend. Drop me an email, something you'd like to hear or see. pepperpmissouri.edu.